Maxwell, I've got
Sambo.
your picture and I'm coming with you.
Yeah, I think.
Dear Maria,
So. Yeah.
count me in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Anyway, Alex Gasgas on the show.
Yeah, he is. Alex Gasketh from All Time Low.
Yep.
Was kind enough to join us at Good Things Festival, our first interview of the day. I hadn't spoken to many people, so my voice is a little bit husky.
Yeah, you did sound a bit rusty and husky, and that will be the story that develops over time as we go here.
Yeah, it's a developing story, isn't it? Darren Lockyer was...
But it was good to chat about the new album. Didn't have a huge amount of time, so we rushed in. We talked new album. We talked setlist building. We talked about the heat at Good Things Festival. So you know what?
The heat's not probably a key takeaway that
It was
audiences
a key
will
takeaway, Sam.
I don't think the audience will hear that and go, Jesus, they're talking about the weather.
But if you were at Good Things, you'll go, oh, it was hot.
Yeah.
You know?
We talked album. We talked 22 years of All Time Low. And we talked JoJo, which was quite interesting as well.
We sure did.
But don't take our word for it.
Here's our word for it.
We are here at Good Things Festival, joined in person by Alex from All Time Low.
Yeah.
Mate, how's it going?
What's up? It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We start the show the same way every week, and that is to ask you what's been spinning in your playlist as of late.
Oh man, you know what? It's funny. This being on this run has I've run into so many old friends, and like it's brought back all these memories of listening to their bands on Warped Tour and things like that.
Yep.
So I ran into Jason today from Fever, and so today on the plane here I was spinning Let Live, and just that record is so good. So that was my playlist today. Goldfinger, ran into Feldy. So I'm just going back and listening to everyone's bands that I haven't spun in a while.
Having a little trip down memory lane.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Everyone's Talking is the new album out from you guys. It's been out for nearly 2 months now. And we're really glad that someone's finally shouting out the Vegas nerve. Someone needed to do it. It's been underrepresented.
It truly doesn't get enough representation in music.
It doesn't. It's an important reset you need to look at if you're trying to improve your gut health as well.
For sure. It's big. It's important. Who knew? Who knew?
Well, you're spreading awareness. This is
Yeah,
what it's all about.
Yeah.
But how have you felt that the reception's been now that we're kind of, a few months out from release?
It's been pretty crazy, honestly. We've been a band for 22 years, and so zooming out and being objective about being in music for that long, there's a lot of artists and bands I feel that are a little bit plagued by that vibe of you put out new music and people are like, yeah, but play the old stuff. And so it's I feel very grateful that the response has been really positive, and we've been overwhelmed with people being like, when are you adding this song to the set? When are you adding this song to the set? And we just came from a tour in the States, our first run playing this new music, and we had 5 songs from the album in the set, which is already quite a lot for a new record. And we still had people being like, why aren't you playing this one? Why aren't you playing this one? So it's honestly been overwhelmingly good and very cool. We're very pleasantly surprised by the response, but awesome.
That's the reception you want.
Yeah. Well,
the album itself continues this sort of pop evolution, pop rock evolution away from the more pop punk side of things for you guys. It's fun, but it's really polished at the same time. I guess, when you're putting the album together, what's sort of the one thing you want your fans to take away from the album coming from sort of the base that you have?
That's a good one. I think, again, looking back, I think there's a lot of what made us All Time Low 15 years ago on this album.
Yeah.
But I also think, we continue to try to push and creatively step outside of our boundaries, and just because that keeps it interesting for us. I think we would get bored if we just kept regurgitating the same sound over and over again. And then we're self-producing now, which has been really a cool part of the equation is to kind of, it started with doing some of the re-records that we did of our old music, and then it evolved into us taking that through to this new album. Our 5th Beatle, basically, this guy that plays with us on stage, his name is Dan Swank. He's sort of at the helm, and then him and I sort of co-produce everything, and it's really what I love about it is it's made our music very self-assured. There's never this creeping doubt or this. I think sometimes when you go in with these big producers, a lot of the time they're maybe they're familiar with your band, but not that familiar. And so they listen to 10, 20 songs, your top songs, and then it's an interpretation of what they think they could do with that. And so I've found over the years that, like, while that can be really great because you get someone's new perspective and new take, sometimes it kind of pushes you away from the core of what you are as a band. And so I think where we are now, it's been very important for us to be really self-aware and kind of keep it internal, and that's been helpful. Yeah.
Digging down on that for a second, I know, like, for people who may not know the process, you know, a producer is not only, you know, on the ones and twos behind the desk, but they're giving ideas on, like, the direction that songs can go and things like that.
Yeah.
How, like, now that you're self-producing and you guys are, you know, keeping it in-house, literally, you know, who has that sort of, within the band, it gives that kind of outside eyes, aside from, you know, the fifth Beatle, if you will?
For sure. I mean, I think we all sort of do to an extent. Like, everybody brings a different, like, set of skills to the table and, like, a different, like, slightly different tastes.
Yeah.
I think, like, to be completely honest, like, I really don't listen too much of the music from within our genre.
Right.
And so I think I pull from a lot of outside sources and try to thread it into the all-time low sound. And then, you know, I think there's, you know, I think Ryan is a little more inclined to, like, the genre that we're in and listens to a lot of that music. And so he brings a lot of that in, like, sort of the rhythmic side of things. And then everybody's just got different tastes. So I think that it kind of culminates into one big, whatever all-time low is now. And that really helps. It's nice.
A beautiful album.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, speaking of threading external genre sounds into the all-time low sound, I want to talk about Sugar because JoJo was on that track, and it's the most nostalgic sort of collab I've heard in a long time.
It's wild, right?
Yeah. I mean, Too Little Too Late, one of the best pop songs of the 2000s. Chef's kiss. But talk to us about that. Like, how did that come together? Are you guys friends or?
Man, it's a wild one. Like, we linked up, like, years ago. We all went to this it was a jazz bar in LA, and we would just go there and vibe and, like, have a couple drinks. And a guy that I used to write some songs with was the key player in the jazz band that would play. So I'd go and watch him. But it was because it was LA, it was like this melting pot of, like, top tier artists and musicians would just show up on any given night and get up and, like, perform with this impromptu jazz band.
Awesome.
And so one of the nights I was there, JoJo was there, and we were, like, sort of sitting across from each other and, like, did a little, like, hey, what's up? Good to see you. And then she gets up and just absolutely kills it, sits back down. We chatted all night and then just kind of kept in touch for years after that, but never thought to do anything, never thought to collab because it always felt like our genres and worlds were maybe a little too far apart. And then I think, you know, you grow up, you do a lot of, like, developing and changing as artists. And it was just we had this song, Sugar, and I was like, I knew I wanted someone on it. And I just kept coming back to her. And I was like, I'm going to shoot the shot. So I texted her the idea and I was like, look, no pressure. Let me know what you think. If you hear anything on this, cool. And I didn't hear back for like 24 hours. So I was like, probably not for her. Like, all good, whatever. She's doing the polite thing and just not responding.
She's speaking the phone. I'm like, oh, go.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, it's cool. But then sure enough, she hits back and was like, I love this song. I'm in. Let's do it. And then, yeah, we sent her the session and she did her thing. And like what we got back, it was like hearing the song for the first time again, which is always really nice. And yeah, she speaks for herself on the song, you know what I mean? Like just nuts. But yeah, it was one of those fun ones where it was like very unexpected and really happy it came together because it's cool.
It's such a cool moment in the album for sure.
I think she's maybe one of the best singers like of our time. Like her voice is just insane.
And iconic. Like as soon as you hear it.
Yeah.
You touched on it a little before, you know, fans are loving the new stuff in the live show. You guys have obviously got a very storied history, a lot of albums to cover. When people are requesting 5, 6, 7 songs from the new album on the show, what's the process? How are you cutting the old stuff? How does it go through?
That's the shit we argue about the most in the band, I would say. Yeah, like set list is the hardest thing to figure out. Because I mean, to your point, like unless we're playing a 2.5, 3 hour show, which we rarely do, it's a lot to like fit into a 2 hour max show. So it's we I think there's a bit of a formula now. Like there's the songs that we know people want to hear. It's the staples. So those tend to go in, and that takes up a good amount. And then it's like, all right, well, we're focusing on the new album, so that checks off another 5 in the set list. And then that usually leaves us with like 5 slots that are like wild cards, and then we each kind of sort of like pick what's a deep cut I'd like to hear, what's one we haven't played in a while. you know, are there any like missing songs from an album or an era that we haven't hit? And that's usually how it comes together. But it's definitely where we butt heads the most. We're like, no, I want to play this. No, it gets competitive for sure. And the problem is like we operate like a democracy, like big time in this band. Like we're not. There isn't someone with like presidential veto. It's just kind of like, so we sit there and like bash heads for a while until it all gets worked out. But everyone gets represented, which is nice.
It's the octagon rules. You just throw in there, get in there.
For sure. Just catch battle. We have to battle.
And look, before we let you go, I don't want to be that guy, but 2026's arrival will mark 20 years of Put Up or Shut Up.
Whoa.
Which you said. I mean, you said you've been a band for 22 years now, but the 20-year anniversary, like it's a big deal. Most people don't have a full-time job for 20 years, let alone get the opportunity to be in a band for 20 years.
Crazy.
When you hear something like that, is it a moment of pride, or is it like, shit, I'm getting old? Like, how do you feel about it? Something like
All
that.
of the above? No. I mean, dude, like time is time, you know, like it's the getting old part's just what happens. But like, I feel, to your point, like we feel so incredibly like grateful that 20 years in, we still get to do this and people still show up and care and like show us. We get passionate crowds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's we're riding a high right now because we just came from our US tour and now we're here where Australia has always been like one of our best markets and like so hype, and every time we come people show us a lot of love, and so it's like we're really like on this kick right now of being like, damn, this feels really good. And so yeah, it's amazing. Like we're very grateful. We're kind of mind blown by it all, like the fact that people do still care. And you know, it's like, to your point, like 20 years to Put Up or Shut Up next year. Like we were finishing high school when we were getting the mixes back for that EP.
Yeah, right.
Like
That's crazy.
literally, like I was driving home from taking the SATs being like, oh shit, is the guitar too loud here? Like that kind of thing. So it is pretty nuts to think about. Like we're very, very fortunate to still be doing it, man. It's
At
crazy.
least that's a good reason to realize, you know, you didn't really have to study for the SATs. You're sweet. You're set.
Thank God, man.
Yeah.
I did not score well. I don't test well.
All Time Low's latest album is Everyone's Talking, so go listen to it wherever you get your music. Alex, thanks so much for taking the time to have a chat with us.
Appreciate you.
Beautiful. Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.